the T.I. situation. If he did that, you're a rat too. I don't spare no motherfucker back. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat.
Harris is not going to allow even a single soul to use his name. That is especially true when word about the dirty rat begins to spread across his family. The instant that someone shows rudeness, his pops, he is prepared to take the stage and set the stage. The truth needs to be told. And as of this moment, all eyes are focused on Boosie. Since King appears to be he's coming straight for him after all that loud chatter he's been doing. Let's rewind the story for a minute. Remember when Bowie sat down with Vlad TV and dropped a bomb, calling T.I. a rat immediately to the camera? No filter, no hesitancy. He claimed that Tip himself had once admitting to working with the feds and even laid the blame on his own dead cousin. That bold claim sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world. Fans were frozen like, did he actually just say that? The streets started bustling. Social media went crazy, and the murmurs developed into full-blown rumor storms. Show somebody paperwork and they still dine with the rat. Before you call them So if you show somebody paperwork, and the individual who questioned my documents still with the folks who desire the paperwork, you show. What do? Question the you, calling on the phone and talking on the phone with questioning. Doing crime with, and query the you received the authority to check. Can't check. But Tip wasn't about to let that slide. He clapped back aggressively, practically saying, "Who are you to question me?" And tossed shade right back at Boosie.
This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my... Right now, I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know.
Tip even hinted at Boosie's own legal history where whispers been flying for years that he might have done some talking himself to dodge that heavy period. That shot must have stung because Bowie spun the block real quick. Next thing you know, he's walking it back, claiming maybe he jumped too fast. Perhaps he hadn't even seen all the documents. It wasn't quite an apology, but it was evident he knew he'd crossed a line. Still, Boosie wasn't done stirring the pot. Nah. He flipped the script again, teasing that he's got some new fire to drop. Something that could change the narrative all over again. Whatever that means, one thing's apparent. This drama is far from over, and King Harris ain't staying quiet for a second. Boosie went all out this time. He didn't just chat. He came swinging, alleging there's a so-called snitch tape on Tip that proves everything he's been saying. He tried to stamp Taya's certified papers. No speculating, no rumors, just straight up calling him out in public. But Bowie didn't stop there. He hauled King Harris right into the mess, too. My son, assume I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandma's, his ass going to prison. If he goddamn keep that up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'ma be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly. Talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you build, I can tear out my right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Throwing darkness his way and calling him just like his pops. A rat, a loudmouth, and a clout chaser. That's a wild accusation to drop. And it sent the internet into overdrive.
Yesterday, his son got caught with a machine gun.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is, when his son got caught the first time, what I'm hearing, his son implemented Boosie. And what I'm hearing is, Boosie agreed to take that video, take that off of his son, because if it hit him in his documentation of his son doing something he should have did, that's his daddy, and then Boosie possibly getting some more time.
Net into overdrive. But then Boosie truly twisted the knife, bringing up King's complete 2024 collapse, the one where he nearly crashed into a police automobile with cannabis in the open and a gun sitting right on his hip. That clip spread like wildfire, and fans couldn't believe how careless he seemed. But it didn't stop there. Turns out King already has an old warrant from 2022 that nobody had forgotten about. Speeding, driving on a suspended license, DUI, the kind of rap sheet that waits in the shadows until one terrible move blows it all up. Out my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? A person that works? What's your name? What's your name? My name, King. You know, if you don't slow down, you know, myself and his uncles, you know, we were baffled by his requirement to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't comprehend why he thought he needed to stop what he were doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. And I had to convey to him that you know when individuals are not living. Today, the rumor on the street is that King might be facing up to 5 years behind bars. That's a nasty hit to the street image. He's been trying to flex so hard, and you know what people been saying? T.I. been warning the boy for years, but King just won't listen. Matter of fact, back in 2022, T told his son straight up, "Slow down. The only classroom you're going to learn in is a jail cell." That's a terrifying warning from a father.
Gone too far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything at 16, and fall in love with her. But it's be gone. How you gonna, like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet.
From a father who's seen it everything. But Boosie ain't buying that whole worried dad act. He's inverting the tale, stating T is the one who's been surreptitiously feeding King's reckless actions from day one. And honestly, it ain't hard to see where he's coming from. Just rewind to that wild Waffle House incident when King was only 17. Live the way they hoped they would live. And here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury. And you know individuals going to pose themselves a certain manner. So hence, you're going to have to enjoy, you're going to have to appreciate your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself, take that energy, and go enjoy your snapping on workers like he owned the place. Clowning them on camera like rules didn't apply to him. Instead of inspecting his youngster, T rushed in to defend him, stating, "When you're rich, you get to accomplish what you want." He even asserted some staff were just jealous because they weren't living like royalty. That comment blasted up instantaneously.
You know, we were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. And I had to explain to him that, you know, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury, and you know, people gonna posture.
Instantaneously, social media lost its mind. One customer stated, "So far, T.I. has totally failed at parenting this child." And honestly, a lot of folks agreed. This is a disgrace. One person wrote online, shaking their head at the whole T.I. and King scenario. Another fired back stating T reared him this way, teaching him they're superior than normal people. That comment hit deep, because if that's genuinely the kind of attitude being passed on, how can Tip now act like he's been attempting to guide King all along? The internet wasn't buying the concerned father act anymore. And they made that loud and clear. But the drama didn't stop with T and King. It flipped right back onto Boosie. "Dwayne, where you going too far, dog? That is a man. A 12-year-old at 12. They don't even know. They don't even know what they next meal going to be. They don't have figured out. Chad, he might meet an A woman, anything at 16, and fall in love with her. But it's be gone. How you going? Like, bro, it's you going too far, dog. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he going to be gay, let him be gay. But don't slash his dick off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decision. Now people are pulling him through the muck too, claiming he's in no position to judge somebody else's parenting. Turns out Boo's own son, Tuddy Raw, might not be too far off from King Harris himself. Word is Tuddy just got picked up in Atlanta on some serious accusations. Illegal firearm possession. And not just any piece either. Reports suggest he had a Glock with a switch on it, plus a full stack of gun-related charges. Witnesses stated the scenario developed into a full-blown chase. Tuddy allegedly bolted into a wooded area, officers right behind him.
My son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama, his ass going to prison. If he goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly.
Right behind him. And when the dust finally settled, police rolled out with heavy weaponry drawn. That scene sounded right out of a movie, but it was real life, and it hit Boosie like a freight train. Once the news dropped, social media didn't waste a second pulling him apart. One person wrote, "Last time I checked, Boosie can't even control his own household. How are we going to talk about someone else's son?" Another chimed in, "So what they say my warrant for?" "So your warrant is for a failure to appear. Dispatch is going to phone in and make sure it's still valid." "Failure to appeal where?" "I didn't have no court dates. It's for a DUI out of Pickens County." "Out of Pickens County?" 32. "But you go and confirm that one." "The only DUI?" I had a suspicion of a DUI a long time ago and it was dismissed." "So, I don't know what they could be talking about, man. Pickens County. I don't even know what Pickens County is, so I'm confused. Where was your DUI?" "Jasper." "Jasper. Is that a city or a county?" "County. Can I call my lawyer?" "I don't want y'all to check the car." "I can't hear you." "I don't want y'all to search the automobile." "Well, I understand that, but if I smell weed, that's probably to seek the car. You're not going to find us. We heading to find my guns." The paradox seems wild, right? What I would appreciate more than anything right now is to be able to make a phone call, so when we get there, it can already be big enough. To who? Who you trying to make a phone call to? Trying to make a phone call to my pot. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. DJ Academics gave possibly the most nasty but realistic observation about the whole situation. In reality, he got arrested for a failure to appear ticket for a traffic violation. So they arrested him. But we know this is King. So, we're simply going to call it that. They locked him up for a body.
So if you show somebody paperwork, and the person who questioned my paperwork still with the person who on the paperwork you showed, what do we do then?
Boosie shouldn't be speaking on fatherhood at all. He's a bad father to his own kids. Those comments spread like wildfire, switching the heat directly back onto Boosie's doorstep. And just when it felt like things couldn't get any messier, whack, 100 jumped into an interview and made things explosive. He hinted at something wild, stating rumors speculating that Tuddy might have even snitched on his own pops. Whether it's truthful or not, that statement jolted the internet and had everyone talking non-stop. So now the question is, if Boosie's has pandemonium in his own household, why is he out here clowning King Harris that his son ain't out here doing the same thing? The irony is impossible to ignore. But here's the deal. This feud runs deeper than social media. Boosie taking aim at King Harris wasn't random at all. It was a direct shot against T.I. himself. Their tension goes long back, and it all traces to that period Bowie made such scathing comments about Dwayne Wade's daughter. The internet erupted, dubbing him transphobic, and that single firestorm burned a bridge that's never been rebuilt. Now, years later, the smoke from that feud is still in the air, and both teams are throwing gasoline on the flames. And guess who jumped right into the chaos? None other than T himself. Tip hit Instagram swinging, asking Boosie to mind your business and quit thinking about another man's kids. That single post was like putting gasoline on a slow-burning fire. I'm really perplexed why King feels the want, need, want to be considered a street dude that badly. Like, why is he so preoccupied with this, with the fight, with the lives of being a street dude? Like, street dudes ain't truly winning. Silver spoon. I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life. You didn't say to come to my grandma house, 'cause I'm getting in the fight like a baby to go to your granny. You used to hold your breath to go over there. I don't want to be in these gates. I desire to be outside in the neighborhood over there. Y'all ready? 'Cause he's sucking pacify over there. He was 12 years old. He was sucking pacify. He was 12 years old. He didn't do it at the residence. He cried like a baby. Hold his mouth. They attempting to pretend I was over there trying to suck up. Don't play with people. Hey, come on, guy. Come on, bro. King tip, son. Yes, King. He claimed he pulling up on you with the TI problem. If he done that, you're a rat too. I don't spare no Barciar body, because if you doing something wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise and you comply with law enforcement to get you out of danger, that says you're cooperating. That means you're a rat. It lit up the online and set the seed for everything we're witnessing unfold now. From that then on, Boosie's mission was clear. He wasn't letting it go. Every interview, every podcast, every clip, he developed a way to shoot shots at Tip. He's branded him a rat over that old gun case, criticized his parenting, and even dragged the entire Harris family name through the mud. It wasn't meat anymore. It was personal. So, when King started slipped up again and his name struck the news, Boosie watched his golden opportunity to twist the knife even deeper. At that time, this wasn't about King Harris, the young man. It was about Ty, the father. The full internet flipped the script, saying Tip had failed to raise his son right, and that's what made it cut so deep. Every single mistake King committed, from that viral Waffle House blow-up to the irresponsible arrests, even those wild paternity rumors swirling around, got transformed into fresh ammo. It wasn't simply King receiving heat anymore. The whole Harris legacy was under threat, and Boosie, he was right there in the crowd, fanning the flames, ensuring sure the narrative never cooled off. The complete Harris legacy is dangling on a thread right now. The internet never forgets, and Boosie knows that better than anyone. Tell me. It been 20 years, dude. It been 20 years. I thought if I went designed like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, dude. I done faced every challenge. Exactly like to throw at me, guy. You ain't seen me break down. I am one among you, who have been to the penitentiary before, guy. What occurred when say somebody ain't right, and they dang show they papers and they are right. What's the penalty for that? Can anybody explain me what is that punishable by? Somebody tell me that. But I'm going to tell you like this. When I seen that, I supposed he ain't lying with the TI scenario. If he did that, you're ang rat too. I don't spare no knuck-ride body, because if you doing something wrong, you doing anything criminalized, and you collaborate with law enforcement to get you out of danger, that says you're cooperating. That means you're a rat. Way you gone too far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old at 12. They don't even know. They don't even know what they next meal going to be. I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today, we need y'all at the house. Yeah, come grab me from my granny house. And right after we done, and these cameras go off, I'm right back to I just made this offer to my boy Tootie. I desire I'ma let the world know this offer. I told my dog all he got to do is come to the gym with me and I'ma get him hooked up with some veneers on me. I don't wish it on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish it on him, and I adore him through it. Whatever he going through, I love him through it. Much criticism as I receive regarding my son. I would like to shed light on the attempt to take the good with the bad and just let them know you heading to prison if you keep it up. Yeah. He's been stirring this pot with precision, making sure every jab hits deep where it hurts most. Truth is, King Harris was never the true goal. Ty was for Boosie. Clowning King is just the best method to disgrace his father in front of the whole globe. Every headline about King, every mugshot, every meltdown, every rumor feels like another fracture in the image T.I. devoted decades building. And poor King, he's locked in the middle of a war he didn't start. While he's out here trying to prove he's his own man, the internet continues turning him into a walking punchline. His every move becomes content. Every error becomes a meme, and every word gets twisted into another strike against his family name. The louder he tries to shout back, the more they laugh. And Bowie's sitting back loving every second of it. So now the actual question is, what's actually going on here? Is Bowie expressing some terrible reality that everyone else is terrified to admit? Or is he was plain obsessed with tearing T.I. down one viral clip at a time? And where does that leave King? Does he finally snap with all that pressure? Or does he stand up, reverse the whole narrative, and create the world eat their words? One thing's for sure, the spotlight's only getting hotter, the tension's getting thicker, and this story is far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments, cause this saga's got everyone talking. And if you're here for this undiluted heat, don't just scroll. Lock in, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep tuned, await the next jaw-dropping twist that's already filling up right now.